Hello and welcome. This is Alchemistexe, and this is the banner overview for the week of April 7th. Before I get into that, though, and you can skip right to it in the timestamp in the description if you want, I wanted to talk about a few things. One, the Danmachi collab that is going on, and then two, the other things that are happening this month, because there's definitely going to be a few options to burn some gems, and I think a collab is always a good way to just throw it out there. A lot of people will go in, and some people will see the collab units, which you only get for a very limited time, and try and grab them. And whether or not that is going to be worth it for you really depends on where your account is. So my philosophy on collab units, like even when they're from like IPs that I am not very familiar with, which is the case in this Danmachi collab, is that I look at them like a shorter term investment, because they'll only, generally speaking, unless they're like absolutely exceptional, like now Fumi and Raftalia, they'll usually only make it to like the next iteration of power creep. But that being said, Gate 7 didn't drop that long ago, and it's a little unclear what the next iteration of power creep exactly is. My understanding, it's making new versions of units that are different elements that share enlightenment and can't be used at the same time as the previous version. And I'm not sure if there's something else that's been added as well that I currently don't know about. So any Japan players, I would love to hear comments from you if you've got more clarity on that. So other things happening this month are going to be the Bishini job class change, and then also a global event that's going to introduce Dark Roxanne, who is a unit I would expect a lot of people to be excited for. Hopefully less controversy than when the original Roxanne dropped, but she's a very, very popular character. The original Roxanne is an absolutely amazing character to have, damage and utility wise, and I'm hoping that Dark Roxanne doesn't disappoint. If she follows the traditional Dark Phantom method, then she would be a wind unit. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case or not, because global is its own thing in that regard. So we'll just have to see once an announcement is made. So the three units that are coming out for the Danmachi collab are Bell, Hestia, and Eyes. So both Bell and Hestia are fire units, and then Eyes is a wind unit. Hopefully I'm saying their names right. Honestly, I don't know. I think I saw Danmachi at somebody's house once, like playing in the background, and that's as far as my relationship with it goes. So Bell's a fire slash unit, and he's got some good utility, like doing shield breaking, buff nullifying, that kind of thing, in addition to damage that can scale off of his remaining HP. So overall, kind of a little bit of commonality with Ugachi. If you like Ugachi's playstyle, you might also like Bell, and then could also utilize him for shield breaking and buff denying. So I definitely don't think he's a bad unit. If you're really stacked on fire, though, and don't need the gimmick, then I imagine he could be a pass. And then Eyes looks like a wind unit that is based off evasion. Oh, by the way, on the Alchemist code database, I was able to find the info for all of the units, even the two that aren't out yet. So I'm guessing that was just a byproduct of data mining. So Eyes is wind evasion, like stacking attacks and buffs, that kind of thing. Pretty Raftalia / Tenosuke vibe from that. And then the really interesting one is Hestia, because unless there was a mistake on the database, it looks like she only has the one job, and it's a support job. She can do some fun things like map-wide debuff to female enemies, and a buff around her that buffs stats of like fire male enemies, of which there's some good ones like Ugachi and Adelaide, etc. And then also a permanent stat buff for party members. So there's definitely some cool stuff in there. It's just a question of like, can your gems and your fire / rainbow shards handle it? So for those, I think I'm gonna wait until I've had an opportunity to properly test them in the game before I make like a final decision on that. So yeah, that was all I really wanted to say about preamble stuff. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the banners. And here we are at the banner. So first things first, there is a gem return banner. Mine is already gone, and any of you that know what a gem return banner is, probably already gone too. If you don't know what a gem return banner is, it is something where you put, it costs gems and you'll get more than you put in a various range. Generally speaking, you're going to get closer to the minimum amount, but free gems are free gems. The only thing is that if you have paid gems, make sure that you don't accidentally use them. So just pay careful attention to where it says paid and free gems, and they will show up in your gift box. Okay, so now let's move on to the rest of the banners. For the rest of today, there is a 100 unit summon and 100 memento summon. I think these are kind of expensive. In general, though, they're not the worst thing ever. It's almost enough to do something like a memento reroll banner. But I did do one once just because I was genuinely curious about what the rates would look like relative to the stated route, and it was pretty close to what you would expect as far as I did the memento one, and I got about just a little over 6% of them were 5 stars aside from the guarantees, and then about half of the ones that I got that weren't guaranteed were limited. So it was pretty good. But in general, though, I definitely think they're very expensive. So then we have another paid banner that one's an easy skip. If you want Bell, 9-step. And another one that is not the worst, but not the best. I don't think relief summons are worth it in general. Just, you get so many for free. There's one right now in the shop, in addition to the ones that show up every month, using the special collab crystal / coin things. So for Bell, there's a 3-step, there's transmuting in the Louise shop, and then there is what I think is the best option is just the 9-step. Because if you really want him, he's guaranteed. He's guaranteed on step 5, so he doesn't actually cost that much. So if your fire needs a boost, I think he could be a good option for that. Especially because they're giving away some of the collab coins for free via the challenge board, so you could use those to buy his shards. So all in all, not a bad deal. I'm not sure he's a unit everyone needs, but if you do need him, then at least he doesn't cost all that much. Then we've got recommended Limit Break Festival. This one is pretty typical. Not terrible, but it seems like people are either going to be going for Bell or saving for Dark Roxanne / something else. So not a bad style, but not the best timing for it. Then we've got a special featured selection. So this one could be good for certain people. So you get to choose your own units, and I feel like this is designed to be a little bit of a trap because people are probably going to see this, and if they don't read the fine print, then they'll maybe think that it's like a guarantee type thing. It's not. You're making your own like 5-step type coin banner where the units you select have a 2.5% chance, which is not good at all. However, the coins that you get from this, the spring summon coins, 100 for each step, you can use those to buy some good units, or buy shards of units that you own, and there's good units in the shop, like for example Bianca. So if the soul port isn't fast enough for gathering shards of like just super rare units, like Bianca, like Nero, like any of the Dark Phantom type units like Dark Nyx, Dark Mira, etc., then this could be a good method to acquire soul shards. I don't think it's a good method for actually getting units, but some of you will get lucky. Then we've got a memento banner for Bell, and this one pretty typical collab, just guaranteed on step 5, so less expensive than typical memento. So all in all, you can get Bell and his memento for not too many gems. So I at least am glad that that's a thing. And then finally, we have a similar to the above, but I think it's less good than the pick your own units because there's no coins attached, and if you'll notice, every memento here is going to be normal pool. So if you've got 3 really good normal pools like Judith's, Zahar's second, just going to throw Naju in there too because he's awesome. Then this might be good to grab one of them if you don't have more important plans for your gems, but otherwise I think it's an easy skip. So that's all I've got for the banner overview. So if you are summoning on Bell, good luck, and I will see you all next time.